everybody, we are back again after a thumping, authoritative win in a glorified friendly, I must add. But since both the teams took it so seriously, like it's a pleasant surprise because usually Clásicos outside of the league and the Champions League or the Copa del Rey is usually a drab and nothing much happens. But today was an exception, and I hope this isn't an anomaly. And like these sort of friendly matches should be going down to the wire. It's a treat for the fans. It's a treat for the players who play in it. Yeah, and before we go on to Hoke and Farouk, um, this is going to be the first time I'm going to be doing this. So just so you guys know, if you're listening in, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and also on YouTube, of course. So like it'll be like that.
And if you're on YouTube, you can find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yeah, for the people who prefer audio. But yeah, you can follow us both on Twitter and on Instagram, / Let's Be Real 902. It's easy. Let's Be Real 902. If you guys like our content, give us a follow, give us a like, share and subscribe. Like the pros say it. So let's cut to the chase and get to the main focus of tonight. Who wants to go first?
I'll probably let Farouk go first. And by the way, just before Farouk starts, our Twitter is like Let's Be Real 1902, not 902. So please be careful.
Oh my
it's
bad.
The same with Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. 1902. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll leave the links in the description. So.
Yeah. Go on, Farouk.
All right then. Where do we start from? Do we start from playing in the desert? Or do we start from playing a glorified friendly, or do we start from playing 120 minutes with Benzema and all these guys in there just literally grasping for a breath? I don't know. I watched the game. It was a good game, but I was just thinking throughout, even as I told Sunday, like, what's the cost of this? Like, at the cost. It's okay. Obviously it's a friendly, Then the point of traveling from Europe all the way to Saudi Arabia, like it's so like even I know, like when I go to Nigeria, it's so stressful just to go there. And then imagine going there and having to play for 120 minutes, and then on Saturday repeat the same trick. So it was a good game, to be honest. Like, but for me, I would just, rather than discussing the game itself, I'll just discuss the fact that we go to the final and something happened when we play against Atletico, or if we play against Atletico, it's most likely gonna go to extra time as well, and then you've played 120 minutes 2 times in the space of 3 days, and you're going to travel back to Spain. And, it's like that. And we have a coach who plays the same set of players always. And eventually, if you go to a final, obviously, you're going to play your strongest 11. But the point is, at what's the cost then? Now we saw Vinicius, literally limping off the game, or what is or what isn't. Toni Kroos, fooled the game, And I don't know. It's just, what's the cost eventually? To be honest, I wasn't expecting such a strong lineup, but it took me. I think I misunderstood, the how can I say, like, the importance of El Clasico, even if it's the league or the, even if it's a cup or if it's a friendly, and Clasico is going to be an El Clasico always. So you always want to win that game. So I guess that's just, what overcame the.
It's refreshing, right? Like both teams showed massive respect towards each other. Like they both fielded their best lineup.
It's not about the massive respect. It's about the fact that now, let's say Benzema got injured, or like a Vinicius got injured, or Luka Modric got injured, Casemiro got injured. Then what happens? I was actually, reading something, or rather listening to a podcast earlier today, and they were like, for Real Madrid, like, this doesn't mean anything. Even they win this game, they lose this game, their season is not going to be judged by this. For Barca, it's a bit more understandable because, like, at the point they are right now, like, they need a bit of motivation. They need something.
That's a big thing, though.
Like, for them, it's like a big deal. So I don't understand really why it's something that in the long run doesn't.
It doesn't matter for anybody, regardless of where Barca is. Like the competition.
No, it's not about you just need the positivity. That's just it. You just need the positivity. To be honest, like I was so impressed with.
You're talking about positivity, but you're actually pooping on the parade. Like we are coming here after a massive win, and you're just down. Hey, cheer up a bit.
Like, for me personally, if I may say, the thing is like you started off with a point that you said it was a good Clasico and you hope for more of these. And I would say I hope that we never have a Clasico like this. It is always a 5-0 win for us. I just had to put it out because that has been bugging me ever since you said it. But the thing is, like, honestly speaking, I agree with Farouk. This is a glorified friendly. And the thing is, like, if it had not been Barcelona, I was fully in favor of benching Courtois, benching Benzema, just starting with Jovic and Lunin, and even Vallejo and anybody you will find, maybe the Castilla kids.
Yeah, like nobody would have wanted the main players starting today. Like,
and I think to Farouk's point, the thing is like towards the end, if you guys noticed, Benzema was like literally he fell down over Araujo, I think it was,
exactly,
and he couldn't get up.
Yeah, he couldn't. He was finding it difficult to breathe. You know.
Yeah. So for me, it's like the question that Farouk asked becomes even more important. Like, at what cost are we gunning for this title? And to be honest, like, if we end the season with just a Supercopa de España, nobody's going to be happy, all right? Nobody really cares in the grand scheme of things, like what this trophy is. But because it was Barcelona, you have to win it. You know, in Barcelona, you have to win it. But the thing is, like, I really don't care if you lose in the final as long as, our players.
Everybody said, yeah.
But like overall, I think the next thing that we do have to talk about is the tactics that Carlo Ancelotti used, because I think a point that you guys are making, like both teams went with a lot of respect towards the game and towards each other. Either Carlo went with a little bit of too much respect for Barcelona, because this Barcelona side, they do not deserve this much respect, and it was like it was a little bit too defensive from us, like we were sitting a lot deep, and I think our main strategy was to somehow get the ball to Vinicius and make him run in behind and get a goal. It worked once, but like it's not good. Like even then, that work was because Benzema sort of made a defensive interception in the midfield and played him through. The thing is, like, I thought our Barcelona defended well against the tactic, and they knew how to handle it.
In my opinion, the very reason why we sat back is because maybe the instruction from Don Carlo was not to overexert and get all leggy, because I'm pretty sure they'll be jet lagged, and it's a completely different.
I don't think they're jet lagged, man. It's the same time zone.
It should be the same time zone, but I'm just mentioning the fact that they had to travel for like over a day to get there. Like, I didn't mean jet lag as jet lag. I just meant that they would be.
Is Spain and Saudi too far?
I think it's pretty far.
Oh, okay. But I think okay.
I think it should
like
be
in my
5-6 hours.
limited knowledge, that is.
Okay.
I think it's pretty far.
Yeah.
But still, I'm pretty sure the instruction was not to overexert and just play on the break.
But the thing is, like, doing that, it sort of opened us up to Barcelona. They had we just played into Barcelona's hand because they had the ball, and we always know that Barcelona are good with the ball. Like they do this thing from their academy, like under 12 or whatever, the lowest level they have to the highest level. The thing is, like, we just gave them the ball and sat back, and they literally, like, at some point in time, they were literally like toying with us. And
for large parts they dominated us, like, which was very surprising.
Like, for me personally, it's like in the extra time, the difference in quality showed, because that was the time when Barcelona had the ball but couldn't do anything with it. But the thing is, like, before that, they were dominating play, especially in the second half. And I think you have to highlight the work that Ousmane Dembele did, because he
was really good.
Yeah, and I think, like, Carlo probably should have taken the game a little bit more to them, and our midfield, like, it really got bypassed. So I don't really know, something he needed to do something different. What, I don't know, but then I am not paid millions to be the manager of Real Madrid. So
yeah.
How you wish, right?
I wish, but then I would probably get sacked and collect the compensation. So.
You're just taking it too far. Anyway, but the first goal. What did you guys think about Vinny's finish, man? Like, that was some really good stuff. Near post, Ter Stegen. Was watching.
it's more of the the Benzema defensive interception in the midfield, man. Like the man is just
I get it. I get it. But Vinny's finish should be applauded. Like I don't think he would finish that chance 12 years ago. I mean 12 months ago. My bad, 12 months ago.
Man, old man like you, because you're that old, you're thinking 12 years ago, man.
Oh, shut up. Anyway.
Yeah, well, anyways, man, yeah, you're right, actually, to be honest. Like, there's actually, I think I always repeat this always, like, something happens and you're like, okay, like, for sure, like, this just shows that, yeah, Vini of the past is gone, Like, you just see, you just, like, attested to right now, like, finishing that chance as well, like, the way he finished it, it actually shows that, yeah, this guy's, like, he's a real deal now. Like, he knows how to get these things done,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
I agree with Farouk. The thing is, like, the whole sequence of play needs to be praised. Benzema winning the ball and then Benzema making that pass to Vinicius, who was like, without it, the goal doesn't exist. But then Vinicius and his finishing, it was just exquisite. And the thing is, like, we have been highlighting it throughout our podcasts, and the change in Vinny, the improvement in Vinny is like incredible.
The first equalizer from Barca.
Oh.
Go ahead.
It was a freak goal. It was a freak goal. I really can't blame anybody for it.
Yeah.
He had the audacity to celebrate it. Luke de Jong, hang your head in shame. If you're listening to this, hang your head in shame. That's
How many opportunities does Luke de Jong get to score in an El Clasico, man? The man was supposed to take off his shirt.
Yeah.
But I think whatever be it, he did a good job closing down Militão's thing. So.
Yeah, like he was a constant thorn in our side, like from aerial balls. I've banged on that drum for the whole season. Like we are so bad defending aerial balls. Like I don't know when it's gonna improve against the better sides. We are getting it hard.
On one hand, you would think that we miss Alaba, but then you realize even Alaba is not that good aerially.
No.
And like all of us, we have been mentioning on the pod, it's like our biggest worry defensively is aerially. And the funny thing is that the first team that exploits this aerial inadequacies is Barcelona, a team that you wouldn't really associate with crossing football. But I think credit needs to be given to Xavi, because the fact is, like, although Barcelona players, they don't have height advantages over our players, but I think it's like their positioning was exquisite. It was like brilliant.
I think actually before the game he was talking about like they have to start considering like corner kicks as penalties, something like that, like their opportunity to score goals, things like this. Like he mentioned about this actually, because I could remember like there was a friend of mine who was a Barcelona fan, and whenever they had a corner, he was just like, "Nah, this is garbage. It's a waste of time. Nothing's gonna happen from this."
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest, like also I would just like to point out that Luke de Jong has been, given shit like because he's a Dutch player that Koeman bought along, like he's just Dutch bias and what is not. The man does it, man. The man, okay, is it good enough? I don't know. But like he does the job, and to be honest, like credit has to be given where it does.
Like he's a nice plan B, but like I guess
I think
that's
last 2-3 games he's done well for Barcelona.
Exactly. The last 2-3 games he's been good.
And he has added a different dimension to what they
have.
That's just it.
If Xavi is actually overlooking his orange tint, that's a big statement right there. Like because Depay can't apparently get into the side anymore.
Man, Depay was so bad. He was anonymous.
Yeah, Depay.
I think the issue with Memphis is a whole different thing actually, because to be honest, like he's been played centrally and the guy prefers to come in from the wing and what is not. So it's just something tricky entirely actually. It's just
I've watched Depay. Like I used to be a huge fan because like I used to semi-root for Holland back in the day. So when Memphis Depay broke through, like he was
he means like 10-15 years ago, like when we were not born yet. That's what he means.
No, not 10-15 years ago, like 10 years ago. Chill. But yeah, so like even back then, like you never really knew like what his best position was. Like I used to always think like he was a false nine, like a cam or something, but nah, like it's surprising. He still hasn't found his best position yet. But moving on, the second goal from us. What about the finish from Benzema? Like
I would have hoped that he would have gotten it the first time.
The first time, exactly.
I know.
Yeah, but the thing is
But
it's Benzema. If you give him chances like that, he's going to score.
he had a shot come off the post, right?
Yeah.
Was it from?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's Benzema. If you give him chances like that, he's going to score. It's like
He's in the form of his life. Like
Yeah.
the commentator, I think was it Ian Dark or someone, like posed a question. So Haaland is on the way. Mbappe is coming. Like how do you keep Benzema out of the side?
I don't think Haaland is coming, man. It's too early to say Haaland is coming.
Haaland will be
Yeah,
coming.
it's I think it's a topic for a different podcast. But like I think we need to really pump the brakes on the whole Haaland is coming to Real Madrid hype.
Oh, this guy! Oh my God, I'm tired. But anyway, Barca's equalizer, the 2-2.
Yeah,
I was disappointed.
Exactly, the aerial, the set piece, like the aerial.
Yeah. How did Casemiro completely misread?
That's the point. Like literally came between the two strongest, like aerial like duelists we have. Casemiro and Militao.
Yeah.
Like these are the two strongest guys. Okay, like Alaba is much more okay. Obviously, Militao is also weak, but like compared like relatively to Alaba, he's much more better.
Yeah.
He's there just looking at him, and Casemiro is there like he couldn't react in time. So it was like you look at someone like and Ansu Fati is like I don't know what decided like, but he's like he shouldn't be getting those headers really, to be honest. Anyway.
For me personally, I would like to point out 4 players. Right, the first thing, actually 4 or 5, I don't know. It was like the right back, and it was Carvajal and Valverde. They gave a lot of space to Jordi Alba to cross. All right. The second thing is like Casemiro and Militao should be doing a better job marking any run into the space between them. And then the third part is like Forlan Mendy was supposed to be tracking Ansu Fati's run, but Ansu Fati, when he makes the run, Mendy is like he's caught flat-footed. He really doesn't know what to do. He's like he was out of balance and he couldn't track his run. So I think it was a failure on multiple fronts, to be honest. So I wouldn't blame one person like squarely, but things like we need to do better organization-wise, because we need to have players tracking these runs. He's so short, but he gets between those guys and he's able to position himself. And even towards the end, I think there was a cross that went to Abde, and Abde is not tall himself. Like he's not that tall, right? And he was he knew where to position himself. So our defensively, like you said, our defense aerially has some weakness.
It's alarming, man. It's alarming how it's become a constant. Like I get the point that our defenders are not good that aerially, but I think we should be setting up much more, like focusing on the fact that they shouldn't be put in those situations where they are being dealt with dangerous balls, from either wing. So they should cut off the point where it starts to prevent them being under this much pressure.
I do agree, but the thing is, like, this one was sort of a short corner, so you can give some leeway. But the thing is, like, overall, I think our entire organization of defending for corners has to be better.
Even after the goal, the other best chance they had was like a shot from Pedri. Like, I have no idea how he got so much space to shoot. Like, how in the world does this guy get so much space to shoot? And it was just wide, like 5 yards wide, maybe.
Yeah. I think the thing is, like, these guys, they did a good job, like whenever they had corners or whenever they were crossing. I think the strategy that Carlo had was to, just suffer through it, get the ball back, and then somehow set up a counter. But these guys, they knew where to press, and they were able to stop these counters. And the thing is, like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but they always had two players like pressing Forlan Mendy whenever he got the ball. It was like in the first half, it was Luke de Jong and whoever was the central midfielder. Later on, it was Pedri and whoever was the center forward. They would just come and press Mendy. So they did a great job pressing and preventing us from counterattacking.
Yeah, like they had some very bright moments, and I think they can take a lot from this game more than us, even though we came out as the eventual winners. But Barca
I think for us as well, it highlighted a few, let's say, weaknesses that we need to consider, because I think it's a good thing that at least our aerial, let's say, disability gets highlighted in a Supercopa rather than in the league or maybe, in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And also the fact that we have to figure out a way to play against high pressing teams.
I also read on Twitter that this is our 100th victory over Barcelona.
Oh yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
Ooh, that's nice. No better way to get it though.
Maybe we should have bought some fireworks and boom.
Maybe. So the third goal, what did you guys think of Cruz's interception? He plays the ball to Casemiro. Casemiro picks out a brilliant ball down to the right to Rodrigo, who cuts it back in, and Vinny runs through with a dummy, to which Valverde just finishes it home.
To be honest, I was scared the chance was going to go amiss.
Yeah. Because Benzema looked out of sorts right there. He was like, "Oh my God, what should I do? Should I move out of the way? Should I go for the shot?"
It was like I thought he was a little bit surprised with Fede, but then he let him have the chance. But overall, for me, worry was like, would Casemiro play the right pass? But I think you have to praise Casemiro. He slowed the game down at the moment because he could have just run with pace, but he slowed it down. He considered his options and made the right pass to Rodrigo.
Yeah. Brilliant composure from a guy while attacking. I don't associate composure and Casemiro in the same sentence.
Yeah, especially when it comes to short passes. I think long passes, Casemiro is good, but when it comes to short passes, especially when he's being pressed, he's not that great. So I think he did a good job slowing the play down, actually.
Shout out to Asensio, though. People will give credit to Rodrigo. Rodrigo, again, for the haters out there, he was brilliant when he came
I
out.
thought Rodrigo was much better than Asensio. Asensio started
lots of energy, directness. Like Rodrigo was brilliant. But Asensio, again, if any of those guys want to downplay his performance as well, he had like a couple of really good shots. Like towards the opening 15 minutes.
I personally, I feel personally attacked because I'm one of those guys. But I thought Asensio was like, he was good, as you said, in the first 15 minutes, but after that he disappeared. For me, it was disappointing. I expected more from him.
Actually, he disappeared. I think it was general team. I think in the first 30 minutes, like, we were good. And then after that, like, it just, the left-hand side with like Ousmane Dembele was just overloaded with, and to do his things and what is now.
But I think I expected more from Asensio, and I thought he had a good chance to score. And he sort of he couldn't get it on target. But overall, after the last game, we sort of expected more from Asensio. But the thing is, with Asensio, we have said this on the podcast before as well. It's he has issues with consistency, and then he has issues imposing himself into the game. He just gives you a good game, and then you have higher hopes that he's going to do better, and then he comes up with this. So it's sort of disappointing. It's like on one side we have Vinicius and Benzema combining on the left, but on the right, Asensio suddenly starts letting you down. So it's sort of disappointing for me personally.
Asensio is you can tag many players but Asensio is a prime example of a confidence player. Like he needs to find his, he needs that moment where he can get back his mojo, either by a banger going in or being more involved in play. But today was an off day largely for Asensio, but he had his bright moments towards very beginning.
Yeah, definitely he had his bright moments at the beginning, but I expected more from him.
What about the substitute though? Valverde, I think even before he scored the goal, he was fantastic. Like he was winning 50-50 battles. He was putting a shift in, some brilliant tackles inside the box, outside the box. He was full, he was giving it all. I read something from I think Marca a couple of days ago that was it his agent or was it his contingent leaking it out, but he apparently was unhappy with
some doubts
with his minutes and his,
I think it's understandable because the fact is if I don't know if you guys noticed, but recently Ancelotti has been going towards Camavinga as his first substitute over Fede. You sort of start questioning yourself as to where you lie on the pecking order. But the thing is today I think and Carlo did the right thing going to Fede first. Because that shows confidence and the fact that this is an important game. It's an El Clasico. So I think we sometimes just contradict ourselves because on one hand we call it a glorified friendly, but then we call it an important game because it's an El Clasico. But I think
that's the life of a football fan.
Sorry?
That's the life of a football fan, man, unfortunately. You got to flip-flop every fucking minute. That's the way it goes.
So the thing is, like, I think Carlo giving Fede minutes ahead of Camavinga in a
Yeah.
Clasico, sort of like, it should show Fede that he has the trust of the manager. And like you
Mhm.
said, I think he did well when he came on. He was good defensively. He got the
Yeah.
goal. So yeah, and I'm always happy when Fede Valverde scores. So
Actually, and also like I think we talked about this before on the season ratings, the mid-season ratings. We actually talked about the fact that Pedro is a player rather that actually performs in the big games. He has that
Yeah.
know-how, like he knows how to like impose himself in the big matches. So I feel
Yeah.
maybe that's one of the reasons as well. I like Ancelotti brought him on before even counting that. So
Yeah, I
actually,
think getting Fede back is very important, especially for the big games like the Champions League tie that we have coming up against PSG.
Mm. Yeah.
I was gonna point that there was a moment with Ferland Mendy in the box, like there was a Barca chance, and immediately after, like he had the ball, and then he was like he became
The Marseille turn,
the box. I don't know. Could you guys remember that?
the turn, right?
Yeah. There was a turn, and then there was a dribble of I think also a dribble Abdi or something like that. I could not remember exactly who it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that. The turn.
Like
But,
it's the famous Zidane turn, right? The way
Yeah,
he
yeah,
like
exactly.
finished.
yeah, yeah. I think it's called a Marseille turn. Like Zidane used to do it. It's called a Marseille turn or something.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't actually expect that from one like Ferland Mendy to be doing that especially after the fact that every time he got pressed, he somehow gave the ball away. But then he
Exactly.
could
Yes.
go there and that's in the box. It was like incredible.
Yeah, man, it was incredible.
But yeah, like moving on, since we touched on Fede, the brilliant substitution and whatnot. On the flip side, I want to come to Farouk, the biggest critic of Camavinga so far this season. What did you make of his performance off the
How am
bench?
I the biggest critic of Camavinga? I just said I haven't seen enough. And today also I haven't seen enough.
Well, you saw like 15 or 20 odd minutes
Today
today.
the decision making, like the point was that Benzema has played for 120 minutes and the man is still busting his lung and giving you a chance. Just a simple pass, you could not make.
Yeah. Mm.
Actually it's now you make it seem like I am like anti Camavinga. No, I am not. I can't be. Because his success is our success, But what I'm just saying is
You know what? I don't understand why Farouk is such a Camavinga hater.
Yeah, man, I'm a host. Okay, I gotta just make it spicy and be impartial. Like I'm just going by whatever you say, bro.
I didn't say anything, man. Don't put words
Oh,
in
okay,
my mouth. Don't
fair,
make up scenarios, okay? So I'm just
fair,
saying,
fair.
like, I haven't seen enough to be convinced yet. I need to see more, and I haven't
Yeah.
seen more yet. So when I see more, obviously, we'll track back and say, yeah, this guy is the real deal. Or say, no, just pack your bags and go back to France. Finish.
Okay. Chill. But yeah,
But
today
he'll be
was good.
tired, when he goes back to France because of the journey and everything.
Oh my god. Okay, but I think today's performance was the most worrying for me from Kamavinga, where he didn't have any kind of composure.
Yeah.
Neither
For
on
me,
defending.
like I just to address your points, Sunat, I think the fact is that he was playing out of position. He was playing as a left winger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
I,
I don't think I.
but regardless of where you're put in,
The point is this, like, it's not about the fact that you're playing as a winger or like out of position. You're just there for 5 minutes to do a job and get it done.
I think his job was to be involved defensively in our half, and overall, I think he did that part. The Benzema missed, the chance that Benzema created and Camavinga sort of messed up. I wouldn't blame too much for him because, like, it's like he is playing out of position. And the second thing is, like, I wasn't sure it was that good a ball from Benzema as well.
That's how they started making excuses for Hazard, man. And it's been how many years now? 3-4 years, and we're still making excuses.
Oh no, Hazard is a different thing, and totally different thing.
That's how they started making excuses, man.
that was a big chance, bro. That was a big chance.
Let's see what
Like,
happens.
Okay, I do agree that was a big chance, but the thing is, like, Camavinga is not somebody. First of all, he's playing on the left side and trying to run as a left winger. The guy is left-footed. He for him to score, he has to get the ball onto his right. And the thing is, like, he is not a winger. He's not an attacker, and he's not. We don't consider him to be a goal scorer. So the fact that he wasn't able to pull off something like that, I wouldn't blame him too much. The one that I would blame would be the one chance that Rodrigo missed towards the end.
Yeah.
But then even that one, I understand because I think the players were tired. But still, I think Rodrigo should
I
have
didn't
worked.
see that. My stream got cut off. Like, was it a big chance?
Why it was an
Rodrigo.
empty net. It was an open net.
Oh my God.
It was a gaping post. Wow, I could not understand how he missed that, man. Really.
Like, how did he miss it? Like, did he put it over the bar or?
No, it just went to the side.
It was to the right.
And it wasn't like it whizzed by. It was a good 2 or 3 feet by.
Oh. Well, still, Rodrigo was like really impressive today.
Yeah, Rodrigo overall was impressive. Maybe it was tiredness, maybe it was something else, but I think,
Mhm.
I think he should have buried that one. Like, to my point, I would say I would criticize Rodrigo more for his chance. Because Kamavinga, if I want to criticize him, I would be criticizing him more for his defensive work and his work in the midfield rather than what he did in the box. But then, I am probably Kamavinga supporter on this podcast. And I have to deal with people like Farouk.
Well,
That's-
we need always counterbalance, man. We can't always be yes people, man. We need to counterbalance something. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always
I
a
agree.
constant battle against Farouk. I feel like, like we gotta deal with it much more firmly from now on. But moving on to the unsung heroes in our 11, I wouldn't say an entirely heroic performance from Nacho. What did you guys think of him? Like, I thought he was steady, but he had his brain farts again.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't really have anything to add because I think defensively, I thought Militao was better, but Nacho had a decent game.
Militao has this knack of redeeming himself time and time again. Right after he makes a blunder, he somehow pulls up something out of his,
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
He pulled a rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah, that's a better description. So, but about Thibaut, again, another man of the match performance. I think like he was crazy.
Yeah, Courtois saw this Mr. Dependable vibe about him. Like whatever happens, you can bank on Courtois. But then we're banking too much on Courtois. Sometimes we need to give him a rest.
It's kind of funny because I've always I don't know who it was. Was it Pepe who said, it's basically the defenders and the goalkeeper, like for Real Madrid is
Real Madrid, the graveyard of centre backs.
Yeah, basically that.
Yeah,
also the graveyard.
It was Pepe. He said that before I went there, Real Madrid was the graveyard of centre backs.
Oh, okay, fair. See,
it's true. It's true because the fact is I know you have been following, you start following around 2009, right? So before that, I was like Real Madrid, all they did was attack, and it was like we are going to outscore the opponent. So there was no defensive nows, and so we literally left our 2 center backs exposed every time we played. So even the best center back, even I think Cannavaro, he didn't live up to the hype that he came with. So I think that's valid what Pepe said. Yeah, it is basically valid.
Graveyard of center backs and also goalkeepers, man. You got to be like somebody insane to withstand that sort of pressure. It's mad. But big ups to people.
I would say, okay. First of all, I think the fact is that we had first we had Paco Bullo, all right, who was our goalkeeper for a long time, and then after a couple of years we got Casillas. So nobody else could basically, Casillas is one of the all-time greats. Whatever your opinion on him, I think Casillas is one of the all-time greats. So for goalkeepers, I wouldn't say that much, but then for center backs, I definitely agree.
Yeah, fair point. But yeah, another statement victory. I think I hope this builds team morale and keeps the team going. Hungrier and more sharper. On Sunday,
consider it to be a statement victory?
I consider it to be a statement victory because for large parts we were dominated and we still came out on top.
The thing is, Barcelona is like an inferior team to us. So
inferior team, but they showed up today, unlike what they did.
The thing is, we didn't show up. That was the point.
I get it, but we still managed to get the win, right?
I think people expected a little more dominant performance from us, honestly.
I understand, but in the Clasico, man, form goes out of the window.
I agree with that, but still, it's like when you consider man for man, Barcelona are incredibly inferior to us.
I get the hyperbole behind. Oh, we should be thrashing them.
I don't expect a thrashing, but I do expect a much more comfortable performance. We shouldn't be conceding 2 goals to Barcelona.
But bro, can you like apart from very jammy, crucial knockout ties, Real Madrid always does it the hard way. Like I don't think we make it easy ever. Like,
Actually, I think
even
what Sunit's trying to point out is I think it's more of like rather than a statement victory, like it's a victory of champions. You don't play well, but you
you
still
should say that. Yep.
you get the point, right? And yeah, to be fair, actually,
Thank you, Farooq. Thank you, Farooq. You're a God's gift. But but on Sunday we might be facing either Atleti or Bilbao. And
Is it on Sunday?
Yeah, it's on Sunday.
I thought it was Saturday. Okay.
It's on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern. But who do you fancy facing? And what do you think? And who do you think will be facing us on Sunday?
I think if Bilbao is able to work out their woes offensively, they stand a chance. But like deep down inside, I think it will be Atleti.
Farooq, same?
yeah, I also think it's a bad Atleti.
Atleti, yeah.
I think it's because I don't know, like although Simeone's teams are no longer Simeone, I know like the old Simeone teams, but I feel like in a one-off game, they're just the teams to bet on. Just that one.
That's a very valid point. But like Bilbao, I think still has a chance.
Of course, definitely.
Still has a chance to upset the odds. So
yeah, while Farooq rightfully gave props to Simeone, I would also say that Marcelino has the ability to get a victory in a one-off game because he has done it before. Last year he took out to the cup final. Even year before that, they went to the cup final. So and I think last year they defeated us in the Supercopa. So I wouldn't underrate Athletic Club. But overall, like Farooq said, I would still agree that I think Atleti are favorites.
Fair. But would you rather fancy an El Derby, a much more intense game to keep us fresh, or like would you fancy facing Bilbao?
Man, you get fresh by sleeping in your room in your blanket, man, and you wake up fresh like a newborn baby.
I think personally, I think both games come with the history. It's like on one side you have El Derby de Madrileño, and on the other side we have the Vieja Clásico, the old classic. So both games come with their own history. But the thing is, like, I would personally much rather face Bilbao because I think Atleti could give us a run, and if we lose to Atleti, if we face Atleti, given the recent history of the game, of the games that we have had between them and the recent history of the clubs, it becomes a really like a fired up tie. But if you face Bilbao, the stakes are a little bit less. Although historically, maybe somebody in 70s would be laughing at me if I said this. But the thing is, like on current day, it's like Bilbao is not that strong. So probably the stakes are a little bit less, and maybe Carlo might take a little bit more chances in resting a few players. But and the fact is, like, immediately after this, we have a cup game on Wednesday against Elche. So I don't really know how things would work out.
For me personally, I would prefer to play Atletico Madrid, in the sense that, like, as Mo already pointed out, like with Bilbao, it's historical. It's something historical and political. The rivalry between we have. But like for Atletico, it's like your neighbors. So it's more. There's more. I don't know. There's more substance to it. Defeating Barca in the semis and eliminating Atletico in the finals. It's gonna have more substance to it, man. Like, let's do it the hard way.
Yeah.
I just like to point out the fact that I don't think Farooq likes his neighbors much. So if you live around him, just be careful.
I think that pretty much sums up our reactions for today. So yeah, like all I hope is, like, just get the job done, get out of Riyadh and get back to business. And we have a very jammy schedule coming up, and we're gonna be up for it. We're gonna be sharper than we have been tonight, for sure. That's pretty much it. Any final thoughts, boys?
Yeah, for me, I don't really have thoughts related to the game. Like, I already said everything that I had to say. But I would just like encourage everybody watching to just leave your thoughts in the comments and let us know how you felt. And maybe if you have any feedback, please don't hesitate.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Maybe you should host from now on. I'm so bad at it.
Come on.
I'm not giving it up. Okay.
I have no Suned.
Man, anything else, Faru?
Yeah. Okay, then let's just hope that our people don't get injured.
Yeah, that's it. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Hello, Madrid.
Madrid.
Great.
Maybe next time we bring some firecrackers.
Yeah.